Okay, it's been a week since I did one of these vids. Um, I needed a time off, about a week off after everything had happened, occurred, and gone on. It's a big period. As you can see, I look a little bloodshot in the eyes. It's currently 12:40 at the time of recording this. One sec, let me adjust the light. In truth, part of the reason why it took so long to record this next video is because I did need a break, but also I kind of didn't want to record a video critiquing or discussing, unpacking my failures. So here we are. So let's dive in. If you look at my YouTube channel, if you're new to this space, you can look back and you'll see 70-ish, 80-ish videos talking about the biggest creative endeavor of my life. The road leading up to it, my process for it, leading in, the bumps we experienced along the way, and then there is a month of execution where I recorded videos almost every single day, talking about my experience and how things are going and progressing. And in truth, it was about as big as a failure as I could expect. The event went forward, but I don't think I could have failed any more, and the event have still gone up. If I had done any worse than I had, then I think the entire thing would have been pulled, cancelled, etc. Now, this is not what I want to be saying, but it is fact. It has been 2 weeks since the end of it, although we did an extra week of performing one of the shows, and we're doing another week on top of that this week, performing them more. So we haven't technically had any proper time off, which is cool. I feel blessed to be given so many opportunities to perform, albeit despite the experience. Now, I feel not depressed, but depressed in the sense that I need deep rest to recover from this event. Now, recover in the sense of, is it tiring? Yes. Is it impossible? No. Many years have done it before me. It has been marked as the worst event in the decade that it has been going. This was the worst year, and I gotta own that, unfortunately. But if I choose not to, then it will happen again. If I choose to own that, take that on my back, etch that, scar that into my mind, I'll make sure that it never happens again. And I know what went wrong, and I know how to prevent it from happening again. Now, the reason why I'm so tired is because there was a lot of abuse inflicted upon myself, by myself. It is well known that when you are put under extreme pressure or excessive pressure, any flaws that you may have in your process are exacerbated and made a lot worse. So it's actually integral, it's crucial that whatever process you have for whatever endeavor it is, that you put it under immense stress and pressure to test it and to see where the weak links are. Turns out I had way more weak links than I was aware of. My ego, of which I own, it is me. My ego convinced me that I was a lot further along as an actor than I am, and I got exposed. It was 3 weeks of rehearsals and then 5 weeks of performances. It's been 8 weeks of being exposed. Talk about a piece of humble pie. And I inflicted a lot of abuse upon myself in the sense that acting is a creative endeavor, and you need to. It's such a careful balance. There's a reason only 2% of actors are regularly employed because they know how to take care of themselves, and it's not what I thought it was going into it. If we look back on the videos that I had filmed, we might see myself talking about, I need to hit this mark, I need to hit this mark, I need to hit this mark. Where was the fun? It sounds silly, but where was the fun? Where was the enjoyment? Where was the freedom? The love? Now that stuff exists in real life, and acting is simply emulating real life. So my performances came across as very controlled because, now we're going to jump into this a bit. You have the child version of yourself, your inner child, of which you might have heard referred to before. The inner child responsible for creative endeavors, responsible for communicating with the muse, and all the fun playfulness in your life is you connecting with your inner child. Then you have the parent, and the parent looks after the child, protects the child. You are the parent. You are a parent before you have actual biological kids. You just need to raise yourself, of which I'm doing a shaky job at, but I'm getting better. So the parent takes care of the child, protects the child. Then you have a third figure, which is the adult. The adult is the fear-mongering, controlling, arrogant, just in general, fearful is probably the best word, fearful person version of yourself. The person that goes, I have to be grown up, I have to be doing this, I have to know what I'm doing at this point. And I didn't know there was a difference between the adult and the parent. And it became very clear to me very recently when I had this moment in my head. We were about to perform, and in my head I was threatening myself, saying, like, you better fucking, tonight you better be a fucking good teammate. I swear to fucking God, you better be a good teammate, or else you are a fucked human being. You are a fucked human being if you are not a good teammate tonight. I'm bringing this up. You are aware of it, that you need to be a good teammate. If you aren't, it's because you're choosing not to be, and you are a fucked human being. Now, which parent? Does anyone out there comment below if you think a parent saying that to their child is a good thing? Is that going to yield a good result? I'll be like Dora the Explorer, and I'll wait 5 seconds for you to answer. No, that's not nice. Now, taking that approach, to jump back really quickly, I thought that was the parent. No, that's the adult. And throughout that entire process, it was essentially the adult that was in the driver's seat trying to make decisions and trying to create a performance that was acceptable. There was no joy, there was no play, there was no wonder. And in a couple of those videos, you saw me get quite emotional and tear up, and I think that is my inner child saying, you've brought out all of my favorite toys and you won't let me play with them. And in fact, you're doing it wrong, and you're breaking my toys. Now this, again, to those outside of the arts industry, maybe this sounds really weird, but I don't know, this is the language that I've chosen to speak to communicate what's going on in my head. So the inner child, the creative child in me, because it's not me who comes up with these ideas, it's not me, it's the muse, and the child is in communication with the muse. The child wasn't allowed to play, which you saw in those videos, made me emotional, and I kept avoiding the work because the kid didn't want to work. But then the adult sitting there with the fucking whip going, you better fucking give me some fucking results, otherwise you're a fucked human being. Oh. Not good. So I realized that, and I've made that change now. So the next creative project that I'm involved in, I want to jump in head first and just surrender, just play as much as I can and let the kid play. And I had a visceral experience of that in the most recent performance we did with the extra week. So I had that moment before, and I made that separation. I went, holy shit, that's not the parent. That's the adult. Okay, cool. Fuck off, kindly, says the parent. And the parent goes in to protect the child. The parent puts a little safety bubble around the child and lets the child play. Perform. So then I started performing, and then things were going well. And then I thought to myself, I'm on track. I'm doing well. This is a good performance. And then again, even on the opposite end of the spectrum, that is the adult coming in again going, good. You're giving me acceptable results. I won't do anything for now. I'll let you keep doing your thing as long as you keep giving me good results. You're doing good right now. I want you to know you're doing good. And I recognize that, and I realize, I'm like, holy shit. That's the parent. That's the adult as well. So then the parent had to say, fuck off. Like, fucking leave the kid alone. Let him play. And then the rest of the performance went, there were other issues, but in that sense, it went really well. It was a lot of fun. It was received well by audiences. Not that that matters. I guess it matters. I don't care as much about that as perhaps I should. Maybe because I'm studying acting, I'm interested in the craft, not necessarily that side of it yet. But the performance went well, and it was probably my strongest performance. It had its flaws, etc., and I'll get into them another time because it's late. It's now 1 a.m. and I'm going to keep this video reasonably short. But it went well. I recognized that both saying like, you better fucking be a good teammate, not helpful. That's the adult, get the fuck out of here. And you're doing good, you're doing good work. Again, ego, again is the adult coming in, parents saying, fuck off, I don't care. I don't care if it's good or bad. It's not about good or bad. It's about playing, being in the world, living that experience. And that created a better result. Unfortunately, that happened to be after that whole entire event of 4x4x4 finished. But I'm looking forward to implementing that change. I feel I still feel firmly sat within the Stockdale paradox. I think my coach believes in that I am as well, because she's given me some pretty brutally honest feedback, and I'm just taking it on the chin, and I'm like, yep, cool, good to know. Thanks for letting me know. What wouldn't be okay is if she wasn't giving me that feedback because she didn't think that I had thick enough skin to take it, and she had to baby me. That's not good. That kind of actor is not going to survive in the industry. So, dude, I learned so fucking much. And I'm going to be unpacking this probably for the next 2 to 3 videos. But I'm in a good place despite the failure. I needed the failure. Lit a fire in my belly. And I figured out some problems that I have been practicing and not even realizing that they were problems for 7 years. 7 years. So the biggest failure of my life, the biggest creative endeavor of my life, turned into the biggest failure of my life, turned into the biggest lessons, biggest learning experience. So was it a failure? Maybe professionally. Maybe, the director said we didn't get the show. We didn't get the show. A performance went up, but we didn't capture the show. But as a student, did I get something valuable out of it? I think I got something invaluable. I got something, and that's what it took. So at the end of the day, I am just grateful to have had that opportunity, and that I am studying at a school that encourages failure as long as you're trying your hardest, and isn't allows for growth. Again, that's a big thing with social media, is that people seem to not understand that social media captures a moment, and people are always changing, and they will evolve. And where I'm studying recognizes that, and they go, cool, this dude failed, but he's still rocking up. He's still coming. He's still showing up the next day just to get his ass kicked again. But so I don't feel like I'm put into a box. I feel like I feel respected, which I appreciate. And I feel I'm being given room to change and to grow, as opposed to social media, where I'll post these videos and say these videos fucking blew up, and then a couple of years later from now, I'll post another video and I'm different because I have grown, but people will be upset because I'm not the same person that I was 3 years ago, because they want me to stay that, because it's what's comfortable to them. Anyway, I'm just rambling on here, but I'm gonna get to bed now. Appreciate it, guys, sticking with me. Apologies for the video taking so long. My inner child copped a beating. It's covered in bruises, still kicking, ready to play. He just needs a bit of time to heal. So, in truth, I could probably use a week off of doing nothing and just aimlessly wandering. That'd be nice. So we'll see. We'll see if I get that. I'll keep you guys in the know. Ciao for now.